More time. I'll try this.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, ma'am. I'll let you introduce yourself. I haven't said too much yet, so you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
All right, then. Well, let me first of all thank you for inviting me to come on the show and just share with the audience some of the work that we're doing in the community. But my name is Akwete Tyehimba, and I'm the owner of the Pan-African Connection Bookstore, Art Gallery, and Resource Center. And my husband and I, Brother Bandele Tyehimba, who is one of the greatest revolutionary African folks that I know, and was one person who was an activist in the community, one who was a organizer toward Pan-Africanism and teaching people about their history and their culture and about our revolutionary resistance history of our people, to make sure that they understood that the strength that we had in us in the past, we still have in us today, and that we still have work to do. But we've been in business 30 years.
Hello. Oh, man, that was getting good. We lost Mr. Kwete. Here we go. She's back. Yeah. I don't know if that's me or her. We're going to find out, though. Apologies, everybody. It's probably my phone. It was.
All right, I'm sorry.
All right. Is that mine? I don't know if that was me or you.
It was us. It was us. That was my fault. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Yes,
But
ma'am.
I won't be long, but just to know that we've been in business 30 years, and our primary reason for existence is because we are a tool or a vehicle to organize our people towards forward movement, towards transformation, towards a better quality of life. So I don't know what else to say, but we just do a lot of work for the people, and we'll be here as long as the people want us to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Really do appreciate that. Thank you for that that introduction, and that description of actually what you do in your actual your business. So I got one intro question I wanted to ask before we get into some more questions. What is it to you, and what does it mean to you to be Black? Like, what does that mean to you?
Well, first of all, and I don't use the term Black, and I use the term African, because
Yes,
I think people have to go back to the point of origin, right? Go back to the source. And for African people, for Black people, Peter Tosh had a song that says, "If you're a Black man, you're African," right?
Right.
African people got it all around the world. And Malcolm X says, just because you're born somewhere doesn't determine who you are. But so as African people, I wouldn't want to be anything else. We have a great history of struggle. Without the invasion of European colonialism, Africa would be a much greater organized continent it is today. But because of our interruption of our development, Africa is a divided place that has been raped of its resources, and its labor has been exploited. So, but with all of that, I wouldn't want to be anything other than African, because of the great history of struggle that we have come through.
I can write on to that. I can definitely get down with that. So, what motivated you and your husband, I know you spoke about it a little bit, but what motivated y'all to get into the Pan-Africanism, to spread this knowledge to our people? Like, what motivated you, and how did you get into it?
Well, first of all, it was my husband's, he was the motivating force. For me, I was this little chick, going to college, and Miss Bourgeois, little Farrah Fawcett hairdo. I didn't even know who Malcolm X was. But he was an organizer. He was born in Cleveland, Ohio. He came down here. he was an organizer with an organization called All African People's Revolutionary Party, which is also an organization that Kwame Ture, or Stokely Carmichael, as you may know him, was an organizer in. But it was a Pan-African organization. So he would start Black student organizations on different college campuses. And I was a member of the Black student organization. That's where I started learning about my history and culture. But so for him, he was always a Pan-Africanist, one wanting to unify African people all around the world. You know, Pan just means world, and unifying our people. Unity is the biggest threat to the enemy that there is. They don't care how much money you have, but a unified people is the biggest threat to an unjust system. So one thing we know is that we must be organized, and we have to unify our people under a common set of ideas. And that's the only way we'll move forward. So we just wanted to unify African people.
It's to unify the African people. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that. During this time, because I'm 1,000% in agreement with you, I honestly think we've seen individual aspects happen. Like, we've seen individuals rise and become rich, famous, whatever, and, you know, make it. But as a collective, to come out of this oppressive system, it has to be done together, because we've seen individuals that work hard and, you know, get placed in the right situations, right people, and with some, you know, blessings here and there, good break here and there, you make it. But as a collective, with an oppressive system, as you spoke to, it's going to take us all. So I do appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, was you about to...
Change is not going to happen from the top down. Change is going to happen from the bottom up. And individuals don't make history, even though a capitalistic system wants you to think as an individual, right? You push individualism. But as African people, we are a communal, collective people. And only the masses make history, not individuals. I mean, the masses, an individual may get credit for the masses organizing and putting pressure on a system to change, but it's only the masses that make history. And those are the workers that we have to give the credit to, not individuals. So, and Harriet Tubman couldn't have done what she did by herself. Malcolm X couldn't have did. Martin, nobody. Nelson Mandela, all of them were part of an organization working to not just any organization, but organizations pushing for positive revolutionary change. So sometimes you have to be a little radical to radicalize your organizing to really agitate and create the change we need.
Yes, ma'am. So with that in mind, how has because it seems that your center is a place, a meeting place where these ideas can freely flow and meetings can happen and plans can be developed. So how, during this coronavirus and the quarantine, how has that affected your business in any way?
Well, you know, I don't separate my business from other small businesses. Many small businesses will not be able to recover from this. This was a hit on small businesses and the working class. But it's, you know, it's their time is, the verdict is still out. It's still early in this transition. Right now, it's been a very difficult time. But as you know, my culture teaches us to have faith and to know that we're gonna win. So I don't get frustrated because of all the positive things I see around me, all the positive people that come around us, and because of my knowledge of self and the strength of my people, I know we're gonna come out okay. It may be a little difficult for a year or so, maybe next 6 months, but we're gonna be all right. And let me just say that institutions like ours and bookstores all across the country have been wiped out, right? You can count bookstores on your hands nowadays. So institutions like this are a necessity. They're not something that you just want. They're a necessity for our community to have a space to come to and organize and strategize. There are many other places you can go, but not the type of environment that we offer. One where you're surrounded by the art and culture and the symbolism of your people, and the ancestors are all around you. So institutions like ours are rare, and they are a necessity to our people having a correct ideology and a correct path forward. I mean, there are other places you can go, but you're not going to get what you need. It may take you closer to the status quo instead of working in your best interest and not in the interest of others.
Okay. Damn. Yes, I hear you on that one. We do need a collective place and a space where these ideas can happen because, as you say, together is the only way it's going to be. So you need somewhere to go.
And bookstores have always been a place where revolutionaries and activists come together and organize and strategize. That is one purpose of it. So that's how we modeled our space, based on the history of our people and knowing that we have to come together to organize. So there's a lot going on. Not much has changed. Things have changed, a lot of positives, but there's still a lot of crazy stuff happening. A lot of racist, a lot of oppression happening against our people, and we got work to do. There's no time to sit on our laurels and say, well, I've done this, I've done that. No, yesterday's stuff is yesterday's stuff. We got work to do today. So
if anything I've learned, even in a pandemic, this systematic racism will still roll downhill and will roll down upon it. Like it's still going to happen. Like it doesn't, even through a deadly pandemic, you know what I'm saying? So like you said, we have to together be together in mindset to come out on the other side of this. Want to kind of pivot back to the coronavirus. Just want to ask you a quick question about, do you, when you spoke about being the hit that all businesses have taken, even including yours, do you feel the restrictions and the quarantine were still necessary? Or do you kind of feel maybe it was, a little bit overboard? It's kind of a mixed bag out here with that. I just want to know your little take on that.
And let me just say that I can only speak for our business because I have no disrespect for businesses who want to go ahead and open, because I don't know their material reality, right? I know ours. And I have to go what's in the best interest of my people. And African people are dying in larger numbers across the country, to this virus. So that's something we have to, always be, cognizant of. So we're taking it a little slower. It ain't that we don't need the money, but we just understand that there are too many variables that are unknown regarding this COVID-19. And we just don't want to endanger our people or our staff. So we are kind of moving a little slower in this process. But soon we will be letting people into the shop, of course, wearing a mask and that type of thing, taking all the precautions. But, I can only speak for us. We're going to move a little bit slower than most folks.
Okay. I hear you on that one. Yes, you have to take care of home, and you have to take into account the varying variables and moving parts of the situation. And African people across this nation are being decimated by this virus, whether it be infected or dying. So we need to be more cautious. So I do appreciate your care and your caution, even though, as you spoke, it's hurting. But like you said, you about the people, so you have that mindset. So I really do appreciate you as a business owner and just as a person for thinking of other people after that. So thank you for that.
One thing that really hurt is that we had to cancel our Malcolm X festival that we have.
Yeah.
Which is, especially coming off of last year when we got rained out, it was going to be such a beautiful day.
Right.
But we're going to postpone it. We do plan on having it, maybe September or October, if they allow us to. So, but we are adaptable. Our culture, again, I go back to our culture because it guides us. It teaches us to be adaptable and to be able to move through a maze if we have to. If you don't, or you're not able to do that, you ain't gonna make it. So we are an adaptable people, and we're going to adapt. We're going to be fine.
Yes, ma'am. I do believe that. One more question before I get you up out of here. Seeing that you feel that your business is essential and needed in the community, how do you think like the whole Black community can benefit from your business? Like how can we all benefit from it?
You know what? I mean, from the 30 years that we've been around, we've never tried to duplicate or be like, anyone else. We are a place where you can get a little bit more information about radical ideas, revolutionary sources like Kwame Nkrumah, Frantz Fanon, Sekou Touré, Patrice Lumumba, Paul Robeson. We try to make sure that people can come and really broaden their perspective, not just stay mainstream Black stuff, right? But learn about liberation struggles around the world. But our place is a community space. It's a community center. We've done beekeeping classes. We do math and science, STEM, reading, math, Spanish, Swahili, all kinds of health and wellness, gardening. You name it. If our people need it, we are there to provide for them. So we are one. We're like connected through an umbilical cord with our community. So if there's a need that you see that we can provide for you, then come to us and let's share it. I'm very proud of the work that you're doing because reading is so crucial for our community. And you know all the stats. I don't have to repeat them to you, but by third grade, if they're not reading at a certain level, then they have a prison bed waiting for our young children. So our children don't deserve that. Children deserve to be happy. They deserve to be loved. They deserve to live life to their fullest capacity. So we have to make sure that they have all those things. So keep doing the work that you're doing because it's very crucial. Don't let nobody tell you it's not. So if we can help you expand your base, because we have a loyal, faithful base that we love, of people who have been there for us, and we know will continue to be there for us as long as we do what we're supposed to do. But just if there's a need that we can help you with, then come and we'll try to do our best to help you.
Yes, ma'am. I really do appreciate that. And knowing that before we started our organization in 2017, that you were one of the organizations that I actually watched, visited, brought my mom to the store to get like clothing and jewelry, because my mom, as you said, my name Jelani is Swahili. So yeah, I've been inbred with the Africanism all my life. So my mom always has put that on my head. So to see a place in Dallas amongst our Black people, I really do appreciate that. And thank you for your belief in us. And anything that you need from Black to Life, like, trust, we will also be there to answer that call. We really do appreciate it.
Black to life, Black to life.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hey, before you get out of here, you want to shout out your store, give out the hours of operation and address and everything?
My daughter over here making faces. But so yeah, we're at 4466 South Marcellus Avenue in the Glendale Shopping Center, and we've been there for 4.5 years now. And we're very proud of the work we've done to revitalize that shopping center. I mean, when we got there, not many people would come there, right? But we brought people from all over the world there. So we're very happy to be able to transform our community. But 4466 South Marcellus Avenue, and we're there Tuesday through Sunday. And just call for hours. Right now, we're reduced hours because we're not back up to our regular, times yet. But just call us and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right. Ms. Akwete Tyehimba, I really do appreciate you, ma'am. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your information, and thank you for the work you do in the community. It is well needed. And like I said, Black to Life is here. We will be there for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Jelani. We love you.
Yes, ma'am. I love you too. Thank you.
All right. Forward African.
Yes, ma'am. Forward.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Man, that was a great interview. I really appreciate Mr. Akwete Tyehimba, the owner of Pan African Connection in Dallas, Texas. Man, please go check her out. Check out their website. Uh, it's a great place to be. And especially when they open up outside back up, man, please, like, if you can, make that one of the first spots that you check out, because they are all about African-centric thinking, togetherness, and unity, African traditions, the Pan-African Connection. So check them out. Next, we have Miss Darciea Houston. Oh, she's asking to join, and it should be coming up shortly. What's up, Darcy? How you doing?
I'm fabulous. How about you, young man?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I appreciate you. I haven't said anything but your name so far, so if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and let them know about yourself.
Yes, sir. Hello, my name is Darciea Houston, known in these streets as Major Melanin, and I am totally holistic health and wellness. What does that mean? I am a professional. I have education in this permaculture agriculture game, and I am also interested in diverse and culinary. I do gardens. I teach. There's a lot of different things regarding holistic health and wellness, which is why that's the title. And it's not just farmer, it's not just gardener, it's not just teacher or facilitator. It's the opportunity for me to embody everything that I do, and help people throughout their journey to like improve their health. That's my goal. Inspire healthy habits is my mission.
Cool, inspiring healthy habits. That's what's up. Appreciate that. So we're gonna get this started. And the first intro question I want to ask is, what does it mean to you to be Black? What does that mean, being Black?
To be Black, oh man, that means exactly what Major Melanin is. It means to be major in a melanin dominant way. It means connectivity. It means spirituality. It means strength. It's sexy. It's empowering. It's motivating. It's magic.
Cool. All that sounds like something I want to be a part of. Glad I am. Glad I am. All right, so get to this first question. So you told us a little bit about it. You want to expand a little bit more about exactly what you do and where you do it, and how you get your message out to the people and the education process that you go through? You don't mind?
Definitely. So initially, my first love in life is my hands in the soil, and my food, my hands in the food. So it's like I'm a sensory, I feel type person. I want to get in deep. I have deep conversations and very deep analogies to help people transform their thinking. So I do that in an alternative school setting. Typically, I've been at Lee Todd and I've been at DeSoto Alternative. Those were the first two institutions to embrace the fact that I wanted to inspire young students, young people, but not kids. I'm not into infants and toddlers and babies, showing them all of the ropes and then they don't have the power to go do anything. They can't purchase any improvement in their life. I can give them the apple, but their mom can still give them the donut, and they're gonna have to eat the donut. So inspiring young adults that are getting ready to get into this world and actually make choices for themselves and have their own taste buds, and understand when they do feel a certain way and don't. That was very impactful and powerful to me at the alternative level, and the facilitation of the teachers, the students, the faculty and staff were all more flexible. But I would love to be in the ISD. I just haven't had that ability because of the restraints that they impose. But I also am running farmers markets. What I'm also known for is the WIC, Women, Infant, and Children. I run that farmers market on Ledbetter and Buckner. Those take place on Tuesdays. Of course, they haven't been taking place as we speak, but those are opportunities for me to get in front of a population that I used to be a part of. My husband and I had 3 kids by the age of 22, me being 22. And so I've been on every benefit you can think of, food stamps, light it up, you know, WIC and whatever else I could, all except housing. I've taken advantage of. So being in front of this population again and knowing exactly what it's like and knowing what to say and knowing how we're thinking because we're hungry at this time, but also understanding that I'm working for an organization that is providing somewhat of a good thing, but it's really not sustainable. My mission is to make sure that after they shop with me at that market, that I've influenced them to go somewhere else and invest in a Black farmer or a farmer just in general, or become your own farmer. Regrow your own food from the grocery store. At first, I used to be so bougie in the game, y'all. I used to be like, organic. I'm not doing nothing that's not organic. It's organic. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, humble yourself because everybody doesn't have access, not to organic. Everybody has access to that in the grocery store, even though it's from California. We're not going there, but you have access to organic because you can make it, you can grow it, you know, yourself. But empowering people to be able to do that for themselves in their own windowsill, because we are also, as the farmer in me is about to come out, we're lacking land now. You know, our land is being eaten up and taken away, and we don't value owning land because it puts us in a mindset of, I don't want to work with my hands, I want to work with my head. You know, so I want to change that whole dynamic. And that's what I've been doing at the WIC markets. That's what I'm doing at the schools. And I'm always in this state of emergency when I'm talking to people. But it's not until this COVID-19 situation happened that folks are really calling me back like, oh, man, come, I want to start that garden now. I want to do this now. So now my profession has been, since COVID-19, is to go and meet one-on-one throughout this. I don't care. I'm meeting with you. We're going to start growing. We can stay 6 feet apart. It's still hard for me to do, but my whole business has transformed as a result of people now ready to do something for their own health because they see that the government and whoever else is in control of whatever has omitted their ability to get what they need.
Cool. Appreciate that. Yes. So what actually motivated you to do this? Like what started you? What's your passion for this? What happened?
I just learned in grad school that it was really selfish. My real reason in this was to gather a better relationship with my mom. She was stricken with sickle cell, you know, and I was going to find the cure as the student that would go to medical school because their parents were suffering from cancer. Not to say they feel selfish about their choices, you know, when we actually are trying to do something to improve or to move forward for the bloodline, you know. But I call that a selfish reason because nobody asked me for my help. My mama didn't ask me for my help. I wanted to help her. I wanted to save her. But did she want to stop eating, you know, chips early in the morning? No, she don't. She doesn't want to stop having candy right after that either. You know, so I wanted these things, and these things sounded good, and my family supported them because they wanted them too. But at the same time, honestly, now looking back, you know, as grad school came about and I was in this deep, and as I got closer and closer and closer, I learned that no, this is not, we're just on the phone talking and you're just kind of saying, yeah, I'm eating salads and I'm doing this and I'm talking about alkaline water and, you know, stones and all these different things, and learning so much more, healing myself the whole way, making sure the immunity of my babies who have not gone to the doctor for a cold or a flu or anything in over 15 years. You know, if I do feel like something is coming on, I know how to correct their bodies. So I was learning a great skill that I was able to implement. And I was very successful when I did in-home daycare. I worked with boys. I focused on their corpus callosum and the way that they think. And I did that for a decade, 10 years. And the majority of my children their parents did not have to take off work. They did not have to call in sick. But guess what? Let me give you that termination notice. Let you have to go to that daycare. I did get feedback, a lot of feedback, and a lot of parents did come back because their bosses couldn't understand. You didn't used to have to take off so much. You know, what's going on now? So there was a humbling experience that came from the parents that said, oh my gosh, you know what you're doing. And from there, that was proof that my selfish act really did, you know, help other people and other families. And I kept going with it. I loved that high. I got high off that. You know, it was like dope. You know, I was just
Yeah.
like, ooh, I want to help. I want to help because I know how. But I got to find the people that really want it, and never give anything away to people that don't want it again.
Yeah, you got to give to the people that want. Demand and give them the supply. So you right on that. I can't force anybody to do anything. We had
Right.
we got a question for you. Someone asked, do you do aquaponic growing?
No, I do not do aquaponic growing, and I am a professional, respectful person. So I will not, you know, try to play like I do hydroponics. I don't have the education in it. I can dibble and dabble, but I also am not 100% for it because my education comes from Cuba. I'm a permaculturist, and that is a permanent culture. And so to me, hydroponics isn't permanent because it is something that has to be plugged in and nutrients have to be added, and the ground is what I want. The vibrations, I need the copper, I need the metals, I need all of what the earth can provide to me in my food, so that I know that the universe has given this to me, not so much a supplier in the water. So I have, you know, I have a reserve about it, even though I do and will consume hydroponic grown lettuce and many other things, if, you know, provided to me. But would I choose to grow like that personally? No. Because if something happened and I don't have electricity, which I told y'all I was down and out and have been with 3 kids by the age of 22, so I've been without lights and water a lot, y'all. So I don't like too much to depend on anything that is going to require me to have to need them, the resource, the electrical company, the water company. I really know that I can depend on rain. I just came from a conference late last year in New Mexico. It was an indigenous conference, and they had corn that was growing that hadn't had water on it in 80 days. In 80 days, and it was fully thriving. I mean, cracks in the ground and everything. But they overstood their growing process, and they had a grazing process that we don't have anymore. We're just trying to monocrop. We're trying to grow one thing, you know. And so those individual things that Mama Akwete was just talking about, we're trying to be individualistic. In what world doesn't a lot of food grow together? You know, why do I need one row of corn? So yeah, I'm gonna rape the land. You know, so because we're raping the land, we're not reaping the benefits like other indigenous cultures that understand how to farm without water. We're so nervous about how we are farming, and we're farming with different types of seeds and, you know, just different processes that are not indigenous. And yeah, so.
Oh, well, yeah, because I didn't know you couldn't farm without water. So
I mean, right. There's so many.
yeah,
There's even air
that's
plants
right.
out here that just extract moisture. I don't know all what they are or how many are edible, but think about our lawn. We are all farmers. We all have a lawn that we are caring for. If you don't have it because you're living in an apartment, you're paying for it anyway because, you know, they got to get that together. But we all have a crop that we can't eat. How that look? And then what comes up that's so important in the grass is the dandelion, which is so important to the liver. You can eat the dandelion all the way from the tip to the root, which makes coffee, and they want you to kill it. And it's the #1 go-to for your liver. It's in our lawn. The grass can't even kill it. Almighty's trying to tell you, you gotta have it. You need it. You don't have a golf course. Why do you need all green? So that's the type of education. Those are the types of things. That's the type of passion that I would love to share with people who want it.
Yeah, that's definitely a different perspective I'd never thought about. Like I said, I never knew anything about farming. First of all, I thought you needed water. I thought I knew that, but
Yeah,
yeah, you got corn
right.
without water for 80 days.
80
So
days. I could not believe it. The opening speaker asked a question that threw me off. I was the only Black in the conference. And it was an indigenous conference. So they kept coming around and saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're the only Black here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And then the opening speaker opens with, "Who is in charge of your health?" And then I'm sitting here taking notes, and I'm like to myself, I'm in charge of my health in my mind. You know, I'm in charge of my health. And then I'm looking around, nobody else took this question so mystical, you know, and because she was saying the World Health Organization is in charge of your health. That's what she was saying. And I was the only person that took it that way because I was the only person with this mindset.
Yeah, yeah.
Being the only indigenous Black in the room. So
I would have thought the same thing. Like, I'm in charge.
exactly.
I'm in charge of my health, right? Like,
Right.
yeah,
I
that's
could
what I would
not,
have
and
thought.
kept moving with it, and she kept coming with stats, and it did not hit me until later. You know, the education hit me.
Yeah.
But I thought it was literally a question. So how many times are we in the room with the healthcare professional that we can't even translate really what they're saying because they're always saying something different? You know, persons to a lawyer could mean a business or a person, but persons to us, you know, it's just people. So it's terminology that really it really diminishes our like how we execute the mission because we're not always hearing what the problem is sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, the brother asked another question. I'm sorry, I just saw it. Do you offer a course on microgreen growing?
I totally could. I have several videos already that I haven't put out or posted. I'm not sure if I've told anybody. If I look familiar and you just don't know where you know me from and you volunteered in farms, I used to work at and run for a little period of time the Paul Quinn College We Over Me farm and farmers market. So microgreens was my specialty. When I was working the microgreens, when I was the greenhouse specialist, oh, my stuff was popping. But I always made sure to do a plethora of things indigenously. I didn't just go in there and plant and water. So when I, you know, had to move out of that job, they couldn't understand what, you know, what happened, why the germination rate wasn't so well. But hey, poppy collar.
I'm not, man. Hey, yeah, toot your own horn. Ain't nobody else gonna do it. Yeah.
Right.
Before we get you up out of here, just got one more question for you. With all the education and information that you have, how do you think your business can benefit the Black community? Your education, your information, how can that benefit us? Like Mama Akwete was saying earlier, you just spoke to as a whole.
Mm-hmm. I know that my services, business, presence, and energy creates value because there is something about me that is motivational. I motivate myself, like my spirit motivates me. I know that sounds weird, but this motivation that I have and this excitement that I have for life and germination has trickled down to so many. And because I work with youth, I embrace the fact that I'm working with families. Once again, I love kids. I'm so good with them little people, but that's not my focus. I get to see babies and I get to connect with them. Then I get to connect with families. And I'm looking to actually connect with mom. But if I can get to grandma, now we're talking. Now we are talking. So that means that we can share recipes and overstanding. And a lot of times at the WIC clinic, it's not the whole population of Black people. So I'm not trying to say that. But at the WIC clinic, I've noticed that the average age 24 to like 45 are obsolete from the kitchen. They can't identify a lot of the produce. Babies coming in, you know, they're 21 and pregnant, they're like, yeah, I want some eggplant, you know, I want a pound of mushrooms, and you know, I'm able to talk to them a little better. If the grandparents are coming in for the parents, I'm able to really talk to them. Now what happens in that gap, in that age gap, they get on the phone and they get on FaceTime. Mama, I'm up here, I don't know what none of this stuff is, look. And they scan the room, and the grandma has to tell them, get them onions, get this, get that, you know. And so sometimes if that mom or grandma doesn't answer the phone, they will get out of line and they will wait until somebody responds. At that point, when nobody's responding, I see panic, I pull them in. What do y'all cook? What do you like to eat, girl? You know, can you do tacos tonight? Yeah, I can do tacos. That's what I was thinking. I was gonna do taco. Well, girl, come on. Here's your potato. Here's your tomato. Here's some cilantro right here. The cilantro I grew for you. You know, I just harvested this cilantro, and I'm able to talk about that because people don't know just because it's organic or it's natural. You believe that somebody just harvested it for you. But if you're in the underserved or if you're in a blighted community, a lot of times they want to give you the older things. And so what I did when I was at Paul Quinn, I made sure to shame any farmer that sent our people the worst or the bad or the ugly of what they had, because I knew that they had access to better. And I knew that they were giving us, you know, a discharge or a product that wasn't as nutritious. So I made sure to pride myself in telling them that I harvested this for you not even 2 hours ago. And this is going to be, you know, help with X, Y, and Z. If it's your parsley, this is the #1 thing to go to for your bladder. And I know I can tell women that's just had babies, because when that baby's falling asleep on you and you got to pee, you're not going to move. You're going to hold that bladder. So I already know what the problems are getting ready to be for a young mom. And we're talking about low iron, because that's our thing as African Americans, blacks, indigenous, or whatever. But I'm selling beets. When I first started this market, I couldn't sell a beet to save my life. By last year, the end of the market, I was selling 38 to 45 pounds of beets a week. So we can make the change. And I'm just telling them, baby girl, come on, put this in your candy yams. You know, I can't tell you to juice it. Who the hell got a juicer?
Yeah.
I can't tell you to smoothie it when you're not smoothieing yet. We're not there yet. So just trying to help people climb. That's where I'm at. That's how I give the value. That's who I am looking for to help and assist with, is the whole family.
Right. So you meet them where they at to try to
yes, sir. With no shame.
propel them to greater heights. So yeah, like you say, ain't no shame of where you at. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And then when you find out, you move on and do better.
Right. But
so,
you can do that if you're dealing with your people. But if I'm dealing with Becky over here, you know, she's like, well, you could just like roast these beets, you know, put a little olive oil on them and some salt and pepper. You could just roast. Nobody would hear that. Girl, go on somewhere. But this is not that demographic. You can't do that. And we have too many of those volunteers. That's a deterrent.
I hear that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, man, we appreciate you. Yeah, we're getting a little long time. So before you get up out of here, you want to drop your tags, your information. Where can we find you? Any more information that you want to offer up to the people on you?
Yes, I will love to say, first and foremost, I love to read too. You see Teddy Ruxpin right here?
I do see Teddy Ruxpin.
That's how I get the babies engaged. I had Teddy Ruxpin as a kid, so love that. But Darciea Houston, if you spell it right, you probably spelled it wrong. My mama didn't follow the I before E except after C rule. So it is Darciea. Houston like the city. So on Facebook, I'm author.Darciea Houston, and on IG, author.Darciea and my website is www.darciahouston.com. Come check me out. I would love to motivate you. I would love to help you get where you're going, help you start your garden. Let's learn, let's grow.
All right, Ms. Darciea Houston, thank you for your time. Thank you for your information. We appreciate you. And hey, I'll be hollering at you later. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. See ya. All right. Well, that concludes our I just saw that. I appreciate that, Rob Hollywood from Cop Cares. The Georgia authorities have arrested the 2 men that were caught on video shooting Ahmaud Arbery while he was jogging in a Brunswick, Georgia neighborhood. So that's great news. The Georgia authorities have arrested these 2, and they seem to be facing murder charges. So thanks to all the, I think, us. That's thanks to us. I signed a petition. Pretty sure some of y'all signed a petition. Thanks to lawyers like Lee Merritt, Ben Crump, other lawyers and activists out here that have been punching the drum, beating the drum for justice to be served. Facebook messages, I think, Instagram, like I think everybody calling the state office, the DA's office, I think that moved the needle, man. And hey, man, appreciate everybody that worked hard to get this done, man. This is good news. It's I think it's a good way to close the night out, man. We had 2 great guests, Ms. Akwete Tyehimba from Pan-African Connection Bookstore, and we had Darciea Houston, a holistic farmer and along so many other things out of Dallas, Texas. So we want to thank these two ladies tonight that gave their time, their energy, and their information. We were all talking about unity, and we're all talking about unity tonight, and basically getting better as a whole and collective. So just wanted to let everybody know that. Thank you for joining us. Black to Life is about to sign out. For those of you that want to check out the news about Ahmaud Arbery, Lee Merritt, Leemerritt. He is live right now on IG. We about to tune in right now to see what he's talking about. So if you want to go over there and check it out, let's go. Keon, I got you. We'll get you up with him, man. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks, cuz. Appreciate you. Everybody that came through, appreciate you. We'll be hollering at you, man. Thanks for coming through the Black to Life kickback. My bad. The Black to Life kickback. And, man, appreciate you. Thanks, players. Appreciate your time, man. Appreciate y'all support. We out.